What's up, guys? Today in the shop we have a 2015 Chevy Express 2500 with a 4.8 liter V8. Customer originally complained about a humming, which eventually over the course of the day turned into a complete wheel lockup. I don't think right there, it just completely locks up, and as you can tell, wheel should not do that. So we're gonna strip it down. I already got a new wheel bearing. Comes complete with a ABS sensor, wheel speed sensor, and let's get it torn apart. Almost. Like that. So it looks like we're gonna have to just pop this bracket off, which is gonna be, I believe they're 18s or 19s. They might be 21s, I can't remember. Pop these two off. We're gonna sling this caliper up on the upper control arm, and then pop the rotor off, and then we're gonna get these 4 bolts, which I believe are 18s or 15s. I don't know. I've worked on so many of these, it all just starts to mend together. All right, let's get it ripped apart. Whoever used yellow Loctite on the caliper bracket bolts, your mom's a hoe. Oh man, I really should get a GoPro and start just leaving it running as I go, because you can't call that. I literally said maybe it'll fall out, and it literally just fell out with the rotor. I had this last bolt holding it on, guess what, maybe half of a thread, and I just tapped it with a maul that I had, and the whole thing literally just fell out. I've never seen this, bro. Yeah, needless to say that this thing was done. They're not supposed to look like that. Okay, clean this up with a Scotch-Brite. Got the new one in. Comes with a new ABS sensor, so we'll get that one back in. Bob's your uncle. All right, so after you got your new one set, you got your old one out, I like to take a little bit of like high temp silicone. Oh god, I can just hear it now. This is some high temp nickel anti-seize, which I like just to do just a little light coating on. I'd like to imagine I might be the next one taking this one out 5-10 years or whatever it is, and I don't want to be fighting this thing with a torch and everything else to get it out. So just put a light coating on. We're not going all Bob Ross on this thing and painting butterflies and clouds and trees and whatnot. We're just putting a light coating on. We're going to get this new one in. We're going to plug in our wheel speed sensor, put our rotor back on, put the caliper back on, reset any wheel speed sensor codes that might have came on, and that's it. Get it back up and going. Get this guy back in service. One quick thing also, I know it's common with rotors. On this hub, you could see that they have this yellow film. You definitely want to spray that with some brake clean and clean that up before you put your new rotor on. And just like that, this is all back together. We got the wheel bearing back on, the backing plate, the caliper bracket, and our rotor. Everything's back on. On a difficulty scale, I would say this was probably 4 out of 10. Like I said, this wheel bearing literally just fell out with the rotor when I was trying to pull the rotor off. Came with the new wheel speed sensor. That's all back on. That's all routed. Gonna just double check everything, tighten everything. Consult your local Haynes Wagner manual for your torque specs. I usually go by how many times my either wrist or my elbow clicks and tells me, hey, it's done. So like I said, everything's back on. This guy's going to be back on the road, back in service. Until the next one, guys, take care.